Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Mad Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Got some plays for you today out of the brand new Arizona Cardinals playbook. This playbook right here I want to call it glitchy, but it's an amazing book. I'm going to spend a lot of time in this book because it's so fresh, it's so new. There's nothing really like this that was ever in the game before. Mostly because, I mean, typically when coaches change teams, or when teams change coaches, I should say rather, they typically port over a very similar book to that team. Well, the Arizona Cardinals went to the college ranks to pull out a coach, so EA did a lot of time just revamping this entire book and making this completely fresh and new. You can see certain formations like the wing flex close, that didn't exist. There's another one called the shotgun cluster. You can see it's essentially the same thing except for the running back switches sides, which, you know, I'm gonna probably record both of these and just put them all on my Patreon. So if you want to see part 2, which will be the shotgun cluster, hit the like button or let me know in the comments section and I'll get that out to you guys as soon as possible. But personally, I like the cluster halfback strong a little bit better. One of the reasons that I like this formation is because it's, I mean, aside from the fact that when you come up to the line of scrimmage, your opponents are going to know what the hell they're looking at because this is a brand new formation that's pretty much only in a playbook or two. I'm not really sure how many playbooks it's in, but I haven't seen it in too many. But it's essentially bunch concepts. You essentially have a lot of bunch concepts, but like I said, you're going to catch your opponent off guard, so that makes this extra cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 3, maybe 4 plays. I'm not sure what's going to be on here, what's going to be on my Patreon, and what's going to be on my Join Now button, which you guys don't know. I added a Join Now subscription button. That's where all my full playbook breakdowns are going to be this year, as well as my additional plays. When I make schemes, I have additional plays. Typically, they're going to go to that and my Patreon. So let's go ahead and let's start off with a familiar concept because, like I said, this is a very different play or a very different set of plays. So I'm going to start off with a familiar concept so you guys might have seen this last year, the verticals. We'll go ahead and we'll pick that. On defense, we're just going to random nickel for now.
Here we go.
Now, I probably should have moved the ball. You don't necessarily have the option to move the ball. Why is it not letting me move the ball? There we go. You don't necessarily have the option to do this in the game. Just know where you are in the field. I always say make sure you run plays from the widest area of the field. Typically is a good idea, which is what we're going to do here. I probably should have moved the ball back even more based on the fact that this play can be kind of big. Now, as far as this play goes, the way that I ran it in years past was I would either drag Fitzgerald, which I still really like, or you can put him on a slant. I feel like that is going to work. The slant is going to work best against Butler, the RB route. The way that they're intersecting is going to, and also going to pull a little bit for Clay as well. But if I can pre-read what I'm looking at on the defensive side, a lot of times, especially if it's a cover 2, I'm going to want to put Fitzgerald on a drag. It's a much safer check down than, you know, it'll come open underneath all these routes. That's just typically how it works. Other than that, the Y route, we're going to go ahead, we're going to pass block him. We don't necessarily want him to do anything. There are times where if I'm going to put Fitzgerald on a slant, I can put him on an out route, and it's you know, now Johnson will be the check down, but at the same time, I lose my pass blocking, and I think pass blocking is really important in this game. 2 things I noticed in this game: man coverage is pretty overpowered, and the pass rush is pretty overpowered. So to me, you typically want to block that running back, but you have that option, so remember that. Other than that, we're going to go ahead, we're going to motion this guy out. We don't have to do that, but that's an option. The way that cornerback reacts, I mean, I feel like I'm looking at cover 2, so I think, like I said, I'm going to try to do the cover 2 variation with Larry Fitzgerald. So let's go ahead and let's do this. It was not a cover 2. Now, that's something, I'm glad that happened on the first play because I want to break down what happened there. I haven't really figured out yet if EA is just messing with these short, quick passes that I typically put out, or if that's just an accuracy issue based off of the young quarterback that I have. Like I said, not 100% sure, but a lot of times you have to wait till he turns up the field a little bit more than I did on that first play. You know, these quick, short, especially cover 3, like this is designed to get under cover 3. For some reason, I feel like the accuracy is like totally whack on certain occasions based off of that. You can see right there, can we get up the field, get that touchdown? Yes, we're going to get that touchdown. Let's go. So, like I said, you can see how dangerous of a play this is. I'll go ahead and I'll run it a few more times. This looks like cover 3. Now, the way that cornerback dropped down, I'm glad he did that because this is also a really good man beater. Like I said, I feel like man coverage is really, really tight this year. These, I don't really know what they're called, but I call them U routes. The way that he goes out and goes up is going to destroy man. So hopefully I'm right. We'll get a man look, and then I'm just going to lob it up against that man cover 1. Now, like I said, I should have moved back a little bit because you can see how explosive this play is. Luckily, got his feet in. But against man coverages, those routes are going to be dynamite. I think I will move it back a little bit because you can see I just floated up there. I didn't bullet pass it. Although I could have. It wouldn't have mattered. I neglected to mention too, typically I want to have my speediest receivers on the outside. When I go to the next play, I'll take Larry Fitzgerald out. And the reason that is because if you flip the play, you can see how now, you know, Fitzgerald will be running that route. I should go back to what it was. Fitzgerald, if I had to flip the play for whatever reason, say I'm running a hurry up and the open side of the field's on the other side. If I flip the play, now they got slow Larry Fitzgerald, where I really want speed at that outside route at all times. So make sure you have your fastest two receivers where Kirk and where Fitzgerald are. So here we go, one more time. Like I said, I'm pre-snap reading cover 2. That's my guess. I'm hoping to get a cover 2. I keep getting these other ones here. Like I said, that A route, do not discount that A route. That's going to be there up the seam. So I'm waiting for a cover 2. I might have to pick it because there is, you know, this cover 2 route, because of the drag, can get open past the cover 2 corner. But I keep getting what looks like, I'm not even sure. I'm not really paying attention because, to be honest, I'm really just paying attention to that one receiver. That one receiver is so money that I don't really have to look at everything else. A lot of times, though, like I said, if I get the pre-snap rewrite, like this looks like cover 3 once again. But, you know, B's probably going to be there. But if I really wanted to try, you know, say they're, I don't know, say they're paying attention over there. Maybe they're using the corner or whatever. I can try one of these over-the-middle routes. But like I said, that A route there is money too. You know what I'm saying? This is a very similar look to a play I put out early last year. But because of the formation difference, a lot of people aren't gonna see that coming, as well as some of the plays I'm going to show you here in a minute. So go ahead and let's do this one more time. Looks like we might have a man coverage. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to lob that up, and now he was up his ass a little bit. That's Sherman there, but you know what? Touchdown anyway. So 45 yards. Let's go ahead and let's move on. But like I said, do not discount. You know, there will be openings between Fitzgerald and Butler over the middle. I know I didn't really hit him too much. I don't want to force it. Let's see if we can do it one time. Like I said, right there, boom. See, there's you know, depending on the coverage. The outside is so money, though, I don't necessarily have to look out there too much. Like I said, I mean, this formation, it almost looks like a trip. You can see it has that same type of bunch there. It's just really close to the line. And anytime you have 3 wide to the line, it's typically pretty glitchy. And anytime EA puts new stuff in the game, it's typically pretty glitchy because they just don't balance it out really well at the beginning of the game. It wouldn't surprise me if this formation got patched, but as of right now, it definitely looks like a beastly formation. So I'd say my second favorite play is probably the mesh. So let's go ahead and let's pick that. All I really want to do right here, I really want to work that outside, I call it an outside slant. You know, forgive me if it's not the correct name, but I really want to work that because in a lot of coverages, whether it's cover 2, cover 3, he can get outside past the point where a cornerback typically goes. So that's what I'm going to try to do for that. Other than that, to make that adjustment possible, I typically want to have something underneath him to pull coverage down if it's a cover 2, and I want to have something over him to pull coverage back if it's a cover 2, cover 3. So any variation like this, or, you know, I can put him on an out route, is really optimal. But bottom line is I either want, you know, the RB route streaking or the A route streaking, and I want the other one on something underneath Kirk. So like I said, we're going to run it like this. I'll take it if it's there, by the way. I mean, I know that's not one of my fastest guys. He's a tight end. I wish he was a receiver, but it's not. That's why it might be best to put your speed guy, even though Butler's not necessarily a speed guy, but it might be best to put your speed guy in that flat because, you know, he can actually catch and run if they let it up. Like I said right there, I'm not going to force it. If it's there, I'm going to take it right away. And I could have made some adjustments. Once again, I still forgot to put my adjustments in at receiver by putting in Andy Isabella, who's a speedster. He would really be good on the field right now, especially for these catch and runs. So here we go. We got that B route. That's what I want to get. That's the big play. Not the best throw. Like I said, rookie quarterback. What are you going to do? But you can see it's open. And I'm throwing right at Richard Sherman, by the way. I'm throwing right at their best corner. And it ain't mattering, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a superstar, whatever that stuff is. He's not necessarily the fastest guy, but you can see how he's just getting beat up. I mean, he shouldn't be getting beat up by this 70-plus overall receiver, you know what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. Christian Kirk, I like him. I mean, he's fast, but he shouldn't be getting beat up by this guy as I mess up the entire setup here. So let's go ahead and let's do this one more time. Like I said, always block that running back. I think that's going to be important. Here we go. Like I said, we're stealing in the flats. Like I said, I got to make that adjustment and put my speed guy there. So I made that adjustment. I got all my speed guys in the game, which, you know, except for the tight end, but he's only pulling back right now anyway. So that's going to be, you know, this is a speed game. This is what it's about. Speed man's game. It's always been in Madden. So we're going to get that guy outside. Look at that. Look at that. He just shakes and breaks on that route. And he wasn't fast enough to get away from Sherman, but that's because Sherman probably has, you know, he probably had some good ratings as far as catching up to make that play. So I'm going to work that outside once again. Like I said, take that RB, catch and run. You can rack. You know what I'm saying? The rack catching is a little bit off. Some players don't have that ability, I think, this year. So next up, I got a screenplay. I got to do the screenplay first before I do the run play because it naturally, you know, lends itself to the formation. So what I'm going to do here, I got my halfback slip screen. We're going to pick that, and we're just going to go random nickel on defense again.
Okay, ready.
So, you know, I should move the ball back. I guess I'll come back up to the 30. Let's go ahead and let's move this back to where it was.
Ready.
So what we're going to do here, we're going to motion over Clay. Now, I've done this exact type of setup maybe in Madden 16, 17 when I started making videos out of the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. I wish I had a receiver doing what Clay's doing, but I don't think I can make that adjustment. But basically, anytime you run a screenplay, you're typically limited to just the running back. And I don't typically like running it like that. You can see right there I get sacked. You know, it's running back or bust. And I don't like that option. So I like to have a route that is a decent option. They took away your ability to create your own screenplays and make audibles essentially to your receivers, because back a couple years back, guys like me and Ant Cap were basically we were glitching that out pretty bad. So they took that away. So now all you can do is motion, and sometimes you can't even do that. So I'm gonna get this motion over. I'm gonna put Clay over where he's at, and he's going to get open underneath pretty much anything except for cover 2 hard flats, as you can see right there. If you have a fast tight end, you can get more of a catch and run, but I got about 8 yards there. I'll take that. I would say this play's best run against somebody running a lot of cover 3s, cover 4s, maybe regular cover 2 cloud flats, but man coverages, like this looks like it might be, I'm pretty sure that A-route's going to get taken out because, like I said, man coverages are really good. So if you have a man coverage, you'll notice it the second you motion over the tight end, the guy will follow, and then go to the running back. Like I said, short, quick passes to the outside. A lot of times you get bad accuracies. I don't know what to say about that, but when you do get it, it's a really nice play. As you can see right there, it's easy, 10 to 12 yards on a catch and run. And if you have a better tight end, it'll be even better. So let's go and let's move on to the next play. Now, I wish this formation had a inside zone, and maybe if it's in another playbook, it will. But as far as this particular playbook is concerned, all I really have is a 45 quick base. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Then we're going to go random nickel once again. Like I said, I had to show that zone or that screen first because I want to mirror the the motion. I want to mirror the motion. That's the word I had a hard time getting out of my mouth there. But that's, you know, when you're motioning this guy over, your opponent's going to most likely maybe shift in that direction, thinking that that's what that's going to be, or they might pay attention to it a little bit more with the user. Either way, you know, what I really want to do out of this is I want to motion snap them right on that edge, and then I can get outside. You're going to see I have a really big run to the outside. A little trickery, little nice pickup right there. So we're going to do that a couple times just to show you that this is a very consistent play. Like I said, I like the motion snap. Sometimes I get in trouble with that center there. I still got, you know, 10, 12 yards, but sometimes that pulling guard can get in the way. Now, there's really two ways that this play can set up. Either Clay is going to act as your lead blocker, or the pulling guard will. Like right there, I make the determination. He missed the block, so I had to go outside. But you can see that, I mean, he's aiming for that guy. That's typically what I'm going for. There's typically a linebacker just sitting in the middle there. I might have to go to my replay system real quick to show you what I'm talking about. But here we go. Like I said, if they get all cluttered up in there, I'm just going to take it outside. I'm not going to try to go through all that. But you can see if they're getting sticky inside, take it outside. By no means is this like the best run play in the game, but it's the closest thing to an inside zone. I'd say inside zones are probably some of the best run plays in the game, and they just don't have it. So like I said, right here, I mean, you see how big the hole is. Just didn't quite have the speed getting through it. Go on, let's watch the replay. Like I said, I mean, that guy, you know, if that guy goes straight like I want him to, he's going to take on that blocker. Sometimes he misses them. And then I got a lead blocker in 67, and then, you know, once I get past a certain point, they converge. But it's definitely a good run. So that's it. That's the vid. If you guys want to see more plays out of the Cardinals brand spanking new playbook, do me a favor, like button, and I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. Money shit out.
Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.